And it's now 10 o'clock in Denver. We're glad you're here. I'm Mark Stewart.
And I'm Jackie Crea. First thing in the morning, some Colorado teachers will walk out and head to the state capitol.
Just like teachers in West Virginia and Oklahoma, they are fighting for better pay and increased school funding.
Our state is thriving right now, a strong economy and rapid growth, but our public schools aren't benefiting. Tonight,
Denver 7's Jennifer Kowaleski explains why we lag behind the national average.
Colorado's economy is red hot. Shiny new skyscrapers and apartments are going up everywhere. The unemployment rate is just 3%, as people throw cash at downtown bars and restaurants. But no one invited Colorado's public schools to the party. We'll tell you the legal reason in a minute, but here's the brass tacks. Colorado ranks 46th in the country for teacher pay. The average salary for a Colorado teacher is $46,000, $7,000 below the national average. Our Colorado's boom has also brought 9,000 more students to our state in the last 2 years. But despite more kids in the classroom, which should mean more money, Colorado actually got less per student than the rest of the country, coming up more than $2,500 short of the national average. The big question is why? And how does the nation's 12th richest state rank 42nd in how much we spend per student, and lands even further down the list for teacher pay?
We have educators right now who are starting salary in some districts at $29,000, who are spending 85% of their take-home pay just on paying basic housing, student loans, buying food for the table. That's not okay.
Let's take this Our Colorado and turn it 360 for a second. Teacher pay has become one of the biggest issues in 2018. Teachers and unions from West Virginia to Oklahoma are rallying, even striking to get their message out. Fund schools and their teachers now.
Spirits are buoyed by what West Virginia, Oklahoma has accomplished thus far.
Carrie Dahlman is the president of Colorado State Teachers Union. She says some teachers haven't had a pay raise in years and are barely making a livable wage.
It's time to step up for Colorado's kids and their educators.
Other 360 views are critical of raising teacher pay. After all, they do get summers off, spring break, and Christmas too, so maybe they do get paid enough. They also have PARA, the Public Employee Retirement Account, but that fund is also short about $32 billion. Others say it's the unions that are getting in the way of progress.
We have got to increase investment in our schools across this state, or the educator shortage that we see now will only grow, and that will harm our students.
And that's just it. The kids are caught in the middle. What's it worth to you to ensure your kids have a quality education? Think your taxes going to education is just right? Let's go back to that legal issue facing our Colorado.
It is really frustrating that we have one of the best economies in the nation, yet our schools are just so underfunded here in Colorado.
Susan Meek with Great Education Colorado says TABOR, or the Taxpayer Bill of Rights, which lets voters, not lawmakers, have the final say on any new taxes, is giving Colorado schools a failing pay grade. Some argue TABOR is why Colorado's economy is doing so well, but Meek says it's crippled school funding.
Colorado is the only state in the nation where our lawmakers cannot set tax policy.
On top of that, there's the Gallagher Amendment. This puts a cap on property tax revenue, which limits how much money school districts can raise locally. As a result, some districts have passed mill levy increases, while others have fallen further behind.
So what you're seeing are these growing inequities across the state, depending on whether that local community has the wealth and the ability to pass a local election.
There's no denying public schools are at a crisis point when it comes to the future of our Colorado. The question now is, what do we do about it? School advocates point to Initiative 93, a state ballot measure that will increase school funding by $1.6 billion. Up for a vote this November. But is that the right answer? And what do we do about it until November?
It is absolutely time to say we need to take a stand. We need to make sure that we are paying our teachers a livable wage. We are funding our schools so they can deliver on the education that they need to deliver on.
Jennifer Kowaleski, Denver 7.
And we know there are a lot of opinions on this story, so we would like to hear from you. Email us at 360@thedenverchannel.com. Of course, you can always send us a message on Facebook or on Twitter.